Are we ready, Yasmina?
Yes.
Okay, sorry for that little delay there. I just want to welcome everyone to the regular meeting, Shafter City Council, Tuesday, December 1st, 2020. Call to order at, what time do you got, Yasmina?
6:05.
6:05 p.m. Roll call. All council members are present except Mayor Pro Temp Lopez with an excuse absent. Councilmember Garcia will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and Mayor Alvarado will lead us in the invocation.
Hey, you guys, please stand. Salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to
President,
the flag
of
of the United States of America
and
and to the republic
which is
stands
one
one
nation,
nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Just bow our head. Lord, we just come before you. We just thank you for this opportunity, Lord, to continue serving your community. We just ask you that give us the wisdom, the knowledge, understanding in God's name. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Can I get approval of the agenda, please?
I move we approve.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Prout, second by Councilmember Givens.
Prout,
Yes.
Garcia,
yes.
Givens,
Yes.
and Alvarado.
Yes. And presentations, we have two presentations. One is presentation for John Johnston as a planning commissioner. John, are you there? I can't seem to.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, there you go, John. There you are. We have a resolution of commendation for your years of service for January 2016 to December 2020. John Johnson has served his community for 4 years as a member of the Shafter Planning Commission, and these years of service has been marked by exemplary dedication to the best interest of the community, and he has worked constantly for the betterment of Shafter's economics and aesthetics development, and through the performance of his duties and responsibilities. As a member of the Planning Commission, Mr. Johnston has made excellent and constructive contributions to the city of Shafter and has earned the admiration and high regards of those with whom he has worked. Now, therefore, be it resolved in the City Council of the City of Shafter express our sincere appreciation and thanks, as well as that of our community, to John Johnson for his distinguished service to the community. Pass and adopt this first day of December 2020. So thank you very much, John. And I apologize for the way we're doing this now through Zoom. And I personally want to tell you thank you very much for your service for our community. Also, as a council member, the service as you were always you've been a role model, John. I just want to share this real quick that, I know when I first came into the community, you took me in. So I appreciate that. And I remember when I first met you, it's been many years back, and you invited me to coffee at the coffee shop, and there are Sunshine Donuts. And just want to say thank you for all your service, and you've been a role model, John. I know we have our differences, but you have been a role model. Just share that with you. And I don't know if any council members would like to say something.
Yes, I can say something. I appreciate John and his service too. He and I have been together for many years, working in organizations and whatever with his family. So your contribution to the city of Shafter was certainly exemplary, and appreciate all the time you put in, John. Thank you very much.
And the same goes to both of you gentlemen. You and Kurt, you guys are incredible people. Absolutely a pleasure to be around. You never know what John's going to tell you when he decides to speak, but I enjoy every moment of that as it is. And I don't think this is saying that you'll no longer be a part, because I do believe that you'll be a part of this community. You always have, and you always will be. And your faces will still be out there and still be shown and seen. And just thankful to have known each of you. I'm with you guys, and just hoping the best in your retired city life now, and enjoy every Tuesday that you can now, right? Good job, guys.
Councilmember Garcia?
Yeah, just congratulations on his service as a council member prior to us, and as a planning commissioner as well.
All right. Thank you. Now we have another one. Kurt Mauser, are you, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Oh, okay, there you are. Sorry about this. We also have a resolution of commendation for Kurt Mauser for planning commissioner from January 2005 to December 2020. Whereas Kurt Mauser has served his community for 16 years as a member of the Shafter Planning Commission, and these years of service has been marked by exemplary dedication to the best interests of the community. And he has worked constantly for the betterment of Shafter's economic and aesthetic development, and through the performance of his duties and responsibilities as a member of the Planning Commission, Mr. Kurt Mauser. I'm sorry, Kurt, I got the wrong. The paperwork says Kurt Mauser has made excellent and constructive contributions to the city of Shafter and has earned the admiration and high regards of those with whom he has worked. Therefore, be it resolved, the City Council of the City of Shafter express our sincere appreciation and thanks, as well as that of our citizens, to Kurt Mauser for his distinguished service to the community, pass and adopt this day, December 1st of 2020. And Kurt, I just want to say thank you very much for your service as a planning commissioner. I've known you for a while through the city, and also through our kids being in the high school together. And,
that's right.
And so it's been many years already. Seems like a long time. But Kurt, again, thank you for everything that you have done for our community to continue making Shafter a better place, and a better place for all of us to live in. So
I've certainly enjoyed it, everybody, and thank you for the opportunity to serve the council for all the years. And if there's ever any resources you need on the time that I've spent here, certainly feel free to give me a a call and talk about some things. So
absolutely.
It's things, when you've been here so long, you know things that other people don't. So, feel free to give me a call if there's ever a question on anything that comes up that, with somebody being around,
Yes. No, thank you. Thank you again for everything. Now, is there any council members who wish to say something?
Kurt, I thank you very much. We've been friends, and we've worked on projects too through the years, and appreciate your service to the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy.
As said before, Kurt, thank you. It's always been a pleasure watching you and gleaning from your knowledge base. So I just wish you the best on your progress moving forward and out. Have fun.
You guys will all see me walking around town. I know Sharon sees me all the time. I find all kinds of great stuff.
Hey, Kurt, before one more thing, Kurt.
Yes, sir.
You always feel free. If you see something that needs to be done or approved, just always reach out.
Oh, I promise you I will, and I will.
Good deal. Councilmember Garcia.
Yes, just, congratulations on your retirement. I know you retired already, and also just thank you for all your service, Kurt. Did a good job, and like I said, wish you a lot of luck, buddy.
All right, thank you, Manuel. I appreciate that.
No problem.
All right, thank you again, Kurt, for everything. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're going to go ahead and move on to public comments. Yasmina, do we have any public comments?
Yes, we do have one public comment. Mark Sandel is on the line.
Okay, Mark.
Hi, good evening, City Council and Honorable Mayor. My name is Mark Sandel. I'm the president of the Kern County Pearl Harbor Remembrance Association here in Bakersfield, but we include all of Kern County when we celebrate and remember those who died on December 7th, 1941. This year, we're doing something different. We're going to honor some of our outlying areas and just also some memorable people that were involved with Pearl Harbor that 75 plus years ago. One of them is Shafter's own Harvey Havens, who died and was killed on the USS Arizona on that day. Harvey is listed as KIA and also MIA because his body has never been recovered. We're gonna honor Harvey this Friday at a pre-recorded ceremony for our Pearl Harbor Day ceremony that will be shown on Monday the 7th. And what I'm coming to the city council for is we would love to see or have any representation from the city council, any city officials, whether it's the police chief, the mayor, any of the city council members in attendance. And what we're going to do is we're going to present you some tokens of our esteem in honor of Harvey. We've had Ed Gady, he's a Shafterite. He's been trying to locate some of his family members. It seems like there's no Havens around. So we would like for you all to step in that role. And what you're going to receive is what I have around my neck is actually from Pearl Harbor. It is a kukui nut lei, a traditional lei for the males to wear on the island. This would go to a family member if one was found, or if Harvey would have survived the attack, this would go to him. However, whoever comes is going to get one of these, and as our thank you for you to be here. Also, we're going to give this a Pearl Harbor, Kern County Pearl Harbor Remembrance Association Medal of Freedom. This goes to the family. If there's no family, we'll give it to the representative that's here from Shafter, and you can do with what you want as far as maybe putting it in a case or a trophy case or some kind of a commemorative about Harvey. And it starts at 10 o'clock this Friday at the historic Union Cemetery in Bakersfield. And the address is 730, and that's Potomac Avenue or Potomac Street, 730 Potomac Street. And that's at 10 o'clock. We're going to have some music. We're going to have a couple of stories. We're going to honor Harvey in a special ceremony with these little tokens of our appreciation. Your illustrious editor of your Shafter Press will be there. Jamie is going to cover a story with him. We would love to have any of you, all of you, if you want to be there, if you can. I know some of you are working. You'll all get one of these, and we'll have one of these as a representation from our thank you to Harvey and his family, and also the city of Shafter for we remember him. We'll always honor and remember Harvey every Pearl Harbor Day. So thank you very much for letting me tell you about what's happening and our ceremony and my invite to you all if you can make it on Friday morning. Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you very much about that. Sharing with us, Mark. I was not aware about Harvey in this history of his service and for his service in the military. And Kathy, are you familiar with Harvey, Kathy?
No, I'm not sure that I've ever heard his name either. I mean, it kind of goes way back, but I was pretty young.
Yeah, I didn't know if the family members were living here or,
Yeah,
you know.
no.
Okay.
And also, I am available on Friday, so my plan is I'll try to be there.
Okay. And I
Can
think
you go?
I have to check with my schedule at work. But that'd be nice if some of us or all of us, I know I have to still check with my schedule. Maybe we get a good group, maybe with the chief or, could make it as well. It'd be nice if we could probably put that medal that was given to Harvey. If we can't find any family members, maybe we could put it somewhere in the city, in remembrance of him. Some kind of, I don't know, maybe the Veterans Hall, maybe.
I wondered about Minter Field. They have quite a museum there.
Okay. That's probably a better, actually, I think that'd probably be a better place just because, it's part of the military and there's a lot of folks that go there. So I think that'd probably be the best place, to be honest. That's good. So, okay, I just, I didn't know if you had knew the Harvey family or not, Kathy. So,
No.
okay. Mark, we'll get there somehow. Either all of
Okay.
us or some of us. Thank you again for sharing this with us.
You're welcome. I'm glad to be able to do that. And you guys have a livelier city council meeting than Bakersfield. I tell you, I like yours pre-meeting. I like that.
Gilbert,
I'm a
it's
personal
Matt.
friend of one of your city councilmen. That's Manuel. So hi, Manuel.
Hey, Mark, how's it going? I just
It's
want to,
going good.
I want to reach out and tell you, hey, thank you for doing that for the veterans. You know, it's really neat. You know, like you, I know you're really busy in your life and stuff, and you coach and you at BC and coached in high school, and I just want to hey, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart what you do for all the veterans. It means a lot to me.
It's been a
Thank
pleasure. Thank you very much for saying that. It was very nice. Yes, it's been an honor.
Thank you. Thank you again, Mark. Take care.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you, City Council.
Yasmina, did you say, was there any other public comments or was just Mark?
Just Mark, no other public comment at this time.
Okay, so public comment is closed. Moving on to council announcements. We'll start with Councilmember Prout.
Okay, I did have one session for the workshop that we had for our new park that will go in at Fresno and CBH. And it was interesting to watch because the time I went, it was groups of people that came in that could design what they wanted to see in the park and where they would place it. Good participation. And I think the young kids, as well as the parents that were there, really got a lot out of it. And then also I participated with the Environmental Justice Community Workshop that our consultant Lloyd Zola held, as well as Wayne Clausen, who was there to represent our staff. And there'll be more coming later, but a lot of input from other environmental groups that wanted to be part of the workshop. That's all I have.
All right, thank you very much. Councilmember Givens.
Yeah, I was also part of the environmental justice program that we held that night. Lloyd did a great job of disseminating the information. There's a lot of information that goes along with this. And I know there's more that will come through from it. But, you know, between Lloyd and Wayne, you guys, man, the knowledge base is incredible. You know, sometimes I thank God for the PowerPoint because I don't think I would have been able to keep up with that. Very informative on that. Outside of that, I have nothing else.
Okay, thank you for that. Councilmember Garcia.
Just real quick, wanted to thank Chad and yourself, Gilbert, and Pete Espinoza for getting chosen for the city council. I know you guys are all going to do a good job because deep down, that's all we all want for the city of Shafter is the best things for the city. So doesn't really, doesn't really kind of matter who wins. We all want the same motive to make it a better place. And I think we all can agree that we just want to make Shafter a whole lot better place to live. So I just want to congratulate you guys.
All right, thank you for that, Councilmember Garcia. Yeah, I just want to also mention congratulations to Councilmember Givens and also to newly elected Councilmember Pete Espinoza, and also to Councilmember Garcia. Thank you for the 4 years of service, Councilmember Garcia, and also those other candidates who ran. I just want to say to them, thank you very much for your interest and want to be part of the community. So just want to say thank you to them as well. Also, I'd like to see if we could put something on the agenda for the next council meeting. City Manager, are you there?
Mayor and Council, I'm here.
Okay. I was just wondering, I didn't know how to go ahead and put something on the agenda for next council to the council meeting before the change, I guess, of seats. I would like to see if it somehow we could maybe discuss the position of the mayorship. And what I'm referring to is that I don't know if we could discuss maybe make a change how the mayor becomes the mayor. in the city of Shafter. I know city of Wasco, they have every year they rotate for mayorship. So does the Richmond School District. They rotate chairperson. Now, I don't know how we could put something like that for discussion before the change of leadership.
Okay, so what I'm understanding, Mayor, is you like with council consensus, an agenda item that gives council sort of like survey information from surrounding cities of how that mayorship is selected. And,
Right.
provide a brief staff report on that topic to council.
Right.
Okay. So from the staff level, that's, that's the council direction, then I think it's being proposed to the rest of the council that if there's consensus for that agenda item, we'll do the staff work to agendize that item.
Is there something already in our charter that allows the selection?
Let me refer to Marco. Marco, are you aware of any of that?
I am not, Councilmember Prout. I'd have to look, but if that's an item for discussion, we can bring back that information and let you know exactly what the charter says regarding that issue.
Yeah, because, well, I'd have to look too. I don't recall if it specifies in there. I mean, what we've done in the past is definitely a different setup. So it may be there. So if it is, and we're ready to discuss, if we're ready to reorganize, then there is no discussion.
Well, I think, just because of my past experience in the 12 years now that I do have, I've been council for 10, never had the opportunity to become mayor. So the objective here is because the idea is we want to become builders, like a hammer. If you have a hammer destroys, a hammer could build as well. So I think it'll create more unity and harmony if we all take turns. Because being a mayor is not about powers or about pride. It's about serving the people. I think everybody is selected as council, and I think we should all take a turn. Because the old way that we're doing it today, that creates division, prejudice, anger, fighting. There's that power hungry, control. So we want to eliminate rivalry, pride, our ego, and think more about building the unity, the harmony, create opportunity. Because, I think that would just be something that gives everybody the opportunity to become mayor. That's just my input.
I think that's a good idea. So basically you're saying, like, for example, like Chad could be a mayor or whatever, just choose it, let everybody have a turn, right?
Absolutely, because we're all equal. John Gwynn, the previous manager, the one who before Scott, who appointed Scott, he always had told me that mayorship is we're all equal. The only job that mayor has is a chairman of the council and does the ribbon cutting and pretty much that's it. So it does not mean it's a higher person or more. I call it, it's can't think of the word, but it's just we're all equal.
Yeah, basically, yeah, rotating.
So,
yeah.
but we should all take turns. If we're all equal, we should all take turns. And because it's not about ourselves, not about our ego, right? It's about serving the people. And I think because our constituents has put us as council members, then we should all take a turn. This is just a privilege that we should all have the privilege of being the mayor because we're all equal. And we should, because this old way that we're doing it today, that does create division, anger, fighting, control, power.
So who does that right now? Do other cities do this or?
Well, I know Wasco rotates. I know even the school board rotates here in Shafter.
Oh.
City
So,
manager,
Mayor,
do you know anybody else?
Mayor, if I may, looking at the city charter, section 4.03, Mayor, I'm going to just read it. There is hereby created the office of the mayor. Only a member of the council shall be eligible to hold the office of mayor. The council shall select the mayor, who shall serve as mayor at the pleasure of the council. And selection of the mayor shall occur at the first regularly scheduled council meeting following the canvass of the votes on an election for council members, the certification of the results of the election, and after administering the oath of office to each person elected. Selection of the mayor shall be by majority vote of the entire council. So you do have discretion in terms of how the mayor is selected. I've seen in some communities that I've served that they do it by, they have a resolution. Basically, they rotate it on an annual basis during the reorganization. Like it's stated here, you have flexibility, and you can basically put a protocol in place on how you do that in terms of the outgoing mayor. The mayor pro tem would step up into the mayor and on and so forth, and everybody just circulates around that based on how the council appoints the mayor and how they vote in support of that. So based on the charter, you have flexibility on how you do that.
I think, talking about hammers and building, I think that should be a good way, building the unity on the council and not try to create division. So,
I think that's a good idea because, like, for example, according to like what Gabriel mentioned, or I guess Caesar would, this is your guys' deal or whatever, but you guys, Caesar would be mayor and then Chad would be.
Or Chad or Pete Espinoza could be the vice mayor.
But Chad's been there longer, than Chad has 2 more years. He can be the mayor next.
No, actually, he just got reelected. So it's up, whoever wants to go next.
I'm just throwing things out. I just didn't understand it, and now I'm getting a clear picture. But yeah, I get it. That's
now, like say for you, Councilmember Garcia, in the 4 years that you were a council member, you were never given an opportunity to be mayor, or just even asked to be mayor because of how the system is set up. Every 2 years, and you have to have a team in there to select you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but I was a quarterback though for a lot of years, so I'm all right. I'm just that's good, Gilbert.
Well, it just gives everybody an opportunity. Yes, sir.
I just feel that I need to caution the council that you don't go too far into a discussion on the item.
Okay.
I think what's being presented is a request on your behalf, on your part, to the rest of the council to agendize a future item at the next regularly scheduled meeting of December 15th for a council to have a discussion about on this item is what's on the table. I just have to caution you that you don't dive too much into a discussion because it's not an agendized item.
Okay, so that was the reasoning. If they want to know why the reasoning, that's reasoning. So I'll leave it as that.
So you're looking for a general consensus?
There'd be general consensus on the council's part if you want to agendize for the 15th.
It's already
bring it up as a discussion item.
Yeah, it's already part of the charter, so I don't know what we're trying to agendize and discuss.
I think we're trying to discuss about power.
Okay, but that has nothing to do with the position that we're talking about.
Mayorship is a power trip. It's a power position, Jack.
For those who seek it, yes.
I know, exactly. So why don't we all can't take turns? What's wrong with taking turns? Being fair. Don't you want to call unity, harmony?
That is
exactly opportunity.
And again, I will side on the side with Gabriel and asking the question, are we diving too deep into this conversation, especially with something that's already in our charter? What you're asking for is a change of the charter.
No, just no. There was a leeway there, he said.
It's not a leeway. There's no specific. It just says the council shall select the mayor. So you as a council have the discretion as to who which one of you serves as mayor, and it says the mayor shall serve at the pleasure of the council.
So the five would meet and 5 would make the decision.
Right. So what I've seen in some cities is they may have a procedure, if you will, of how they reorganize on an annual basis or every 2 years. And I think that may be what the mayor is discussing, because the charter doesn't specifically say this is how you shall appoint the mayor or this is how you shall select the mayor. It
No,
just says,
this determines the win.
here's how the office of the mayor is created and the role and how they're selected to be mayor. But it doesn't tell you the process of which, how they're selected by you among your peers, who you selected to serve as mayor.
Correct. And I
Right.
think the order tells us the win. And what I'm hearing right now from Gilbert is he's asking for the when to be changed, not the how.
No, I don't know. I mean, that's a question to the mayor of what specifically he's wanting. If it's
Well,
a procedural, the charter already says how the council selects the mayor. If what you're looking for is you as a council, what's that process you're going to follow to select the mayor, then that's a discussion that would be the discussion you would be having on the 15th in terms of
Okay.
the process the council would choose among yourselves, building consensus, how that selection takes place.
So can we do that for discussion? Gabriel, can we do that for discussion?
Well, I need direction from the council, sir.
Okay, all right. So I'm not trying to change the charter. Is that correct? It was because through a resolution for discussion?
You're asking me the manner which
Yeah.
you would do that?
Right.
So if council was to agendize an item in terms of the process of how you will select the mayor, yeah, you can do that. And I'll ask Marco to chime in here as well. You could do it by resolution. You could do it as part of your council norms, adopted norms. It would just be memorialized in some form or another where you as a council can either elect to do it by resolution. It's not ordinance because it gives you that flexibility and discretion to change it in the future. You're not locking in future councils. And then two, or you can do it as part of your council norms that you say, this is how we're going to select the mayor on whenever we reorganize as a council.
Oh, I like
Yeah.
to open it for discussion.
Okay, then as I understand it, what you would like to have is a discussion item.
You can find
Is a
setup
discussion
instructions
item.
in the help section of your Alexa app.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay.
And Alexis is speaking.
Is a discussion item to provide direction to the staff as to whether or not they should bring back any more formal policy. I just went through this with another city where they wanted to formalize the process for the selection of the mayor. And what came back was several different options after the staff did a little bit of research. In some cities that have a formal process, sometimes it is the person who got the highest votes. Sometimes it is the person who has the most seniority. Sometimes it is, sometimes it was done more with a random draw, for example. And so as I understand it, what you would like to do is bring back a discussion item at your next meeting and at the same time direct staff to provide you with that kind of information as to various ways in which cities might have a more formal selection process. In many cities, there is no formal selection process. It is almost exactly as what is written in your charter is written in many ordinances that just says that the mayor shall be selected from among the council members, and it's at the pleasure of the city council. So there's no formal direction as to how to do that. And so the person that gets the most votes is the one that ultimately gets selected mayor. But there are some cities where it's a more formal process based on some objective criteria. As I understand it, the mayor is asking for a discussion item to review those different methods by which cities might do that. But as Gabriel mentioned, you couldn't do that on the meeting on the 15th. You would have to provide direction on the 15th to prepare something based on what you hear, or to leave things exactly the way they are.
Okay. So basically we cannot do anything before the 15th. Marcos?
Well, you always have the ability to call a special meeting if this is something you want to discuss, but ultimately what we'd have to have is direction from the council as to what process, if you want to go to a more formal process, what exactly does that process look like? And so we would have to prepare, as Gabriel says, either as a policy to your norms or as a resolution. In some cases, it's actually codified in the ordinance. You obviously couldn't do that in the charter because that would require a vote. but there are different ways in which to pursue that if that's something that you want to do. But ultimately, what both staff and the city attorney's office would need is direction from you as to what type of process you want to pursue. So that would have to come back, obviously, because it's not drafted.
Yeah, and I think that process is already lined out. Again, the charter already lines out what that process is, the timing of that process. It's already lined out there. So I don't know why we're having the discussion on it.
Well, Chad, I'm trying to eliminate the bickering and the fighting as for mayor and stuff like that, Chad, the division that we have on council.
None of us are bickering about the mayor.
It's a voting block that becomes a mayor, Chad. If you know history about the council, that's how it's always been. So.
No, I might make a comment. I might comment a little bit on that. I think what I've seen in the past is there were many times some people didn't want to be, or there was a reason why somebody wasn't supported or whatever. I mean, we always selected within ourselves. And so, unfortunately.
That's just not fair. That's the reason why it's not fair. And I think that needs to be changed.
Well,
because here's my own personal experience. I've been a councilor for 10 years and I couldn't become mayor. And that's not right. So do we continue doing it wrong? Knowing that it's wrong?
Mayor, council, I hate to be the bad guy. I have to, as Gabriel mentioned earlier, we're getting a little bit too far into the discussion. The only issue that's before you tonight is whether you want to bring this back for a more fuller discussion and direct staff to bring back information to you. That is the only thing that we are asking, or that the mayor is asking for, and that you can discuss tonight.
I do not.
Is there a consensus? Is there a consensus to bring this back?
I feel like bringing it back. I think it's a good idea. I don't think people should get upset, get hurt, get bothered. It's a good idea. I know I'm on my way out, but if other cities do it, it's pretty good. And sometimes this way you don't have like some sort of division on it. It's always just kind of like, for example, a good example is this. I could see Caesar being like the mayor and Chad being the vice mayor because Chad has been there. It's only fair. It's not fair. This is just my opinion that Pete is vice mayor because Chad's been there. And if you wanted to call it fair, that's what I see fair, but again, it's my opinion.
All right.
It's a no for me. I don't have a desire to bring it back. I think we already have it lined out in the charter and we need to be able to follow the charter to what it is. And to answer your question, in the time frame that I've been here and the time that I've been a part of the city, typically it's always went as a unified vote. There's been one time I've seen it as a 3-2.
Yes, and I would support that too, because like I said, and if we were to come back on the 15th, then we're not going to reorganize on the 15th because it won't be ready.
Right.
But I think it needs to be looked into somewhere down the line. I don't disagree with that.
Well, like you're in my opinion. My opinion is, do it the fairest way possible. Somewhere, yeah. I don't want to bring up mass this last Sunday, but it was basically about how would you, if you had, 30 days to live, how would you live them? How would you live them? Would you clean up your act and do things great? Or would you just still live a crazy life on the side? So
it looks like we don't have consensus to bring it back on the 15th, but at some point in the future, it might be discussed.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I say to bring it back. So what do you do when you got to split, Marcos?
Yeah, and I say bring it back too.
You don't have consensus.
We don't have consensus for the split.
Okay. So we'll leave it as this.
Yeah, unless somebody would like to bring it back after the 15th, because it sounds like there might be some willingness to at least have a discussion.
All right. Can we bring it back after the 15th?
That would be up to the council on the 15th.
Okay. So we'll bring that topic back up on the 15th then, right? Is that what you're saying?
You can certainly bring that up and see if somebody would like to join you in providing the consensus to bring it back at some additional meeting in January.
Okay.
Just, Mayor and Council, alternatively, these type of topics, councils may take it up during a strategic planning retreat where it's more informal and council has an opportunity to not only talk about topics like this, but about council norms of which they agree upon and they have discussion. So alternatively, you can plan on bringing that back at a future strategic planning retreat to have a discussion on this topic. Just presenting that to council as an alternative.
Okay. All right. So we'll just go ahead and postpone it then to after the, maybe during a retreat then for discussion. The topic. We'll just do that then. We'll just wait till the retreat time.
Yeah, if that's
Okay.
what I'm understanding.
All right, we'll go ahead and move on then. Can I get a motion for the consent calendar?
Make a motion to approve as read.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilmember Givens and second by Councilmember Garcia. Moving on,
Councilmember Prout? Oh,
go ahead.
Councilmember Prout,
Yes, ma'am.
Givens,
Yes.
Garcia,
Yes.
and Alvarado.
Yes. Manager's report, consideration of city support of a community drive-in movie.
Certainly, Mayor and Council, this was an item requested by council from the November 17th meeting in which a proposal was presented to you by one of your peers there, Councilmember Givens, about the city helping put together a drive-in movie. So we provided the staff report, which provides what we are being told by the Public Health Department as to what would be required to meet social distancing and the safety protocols. I should mention that this topic is not a new topic for you to discuss. If you recall, during the summer, it was a similar proposal was put before you, at which time you as a council elected not to pursue for various reasons. And so this item's come back to you. So we've outlined in the staff report all the different criteria that would have to be met in terms of safety requirements. And then we've also outlined a list of items in terms of what would need to be performed if there was an organization that was willing to take the lead. Specifically, the request was for the city to contribute approximately $1,500 towards the audio video equipment to be able to put on this event for the community. In your brief discussion you had, there was a comment about maybe getting one of the local civic organizations to take lead and participate and have them raise money versus the city making the contribution. So I'm going to spare you of the 10 different items we outlined that would have to be performed, from the city partnering with an organization to getting a special event permit and all the other criteria that would have to be met. The fiscal impact, as we stated in the staff report, historically, out of fiduciary prudence, the city has not sponsored or financially contributed to these type of community events. However, it has waived permit fees and at times provided in-kind support, as outlined here. And for example, the Public Works Department may have set up barricades if it was a parade, or the police department may have provided traffic control. That is considered in-kind support and not necessarily a direct financial contribution. There is a concern that once the practice is instituted, meaning the city council were to make a financial contribution, there may be an expectation that the city participate in future events, and then the council is put in a position of having to choose certain events over others. And how do you make that determination? In the event the city were to participate, there is the cost associated with the special event permit that we would waive. And then if there were to be any in-kind contribution as well. We do provide an alternative as outlined here in the staff report. We are in unprecedented times today with the health pandemic. So the city, community, individuals, we've been all sheltering in place. You can say that to some degree, there's low morale in the community, low community spirit. I don't have any data to support that, but just based in general of everything that's occurring, it could present a lack of community spirit and support, simply because people aren't socializing, families aren't gathering, friends aren't socializing. We're not having any community events where we come out together and socialize and support the community. To that end, the closure of many recreational and social activities have contributed to individual and societal reclusion, leading to individuals and families not being able to participate in what would used to be, normal everyday fun activities like going to the movies. So in the event the council were willing to make an exception, considering the current situation that we find ourselves, again, you can make a one-time exception to this current practice of not directly contributing to community events and participate in the proposed drive-in movie. In order for it to not be considered a gift of public funds, you as a council would have to make a determination, as outlined here, that you make the determination that participating financially for the event is in the benefit of the community at large. It promotes community goodwill and spirit. It's open to the general public, and there's no charge to the general public. In this instance, the city council be specific of its contribution. So for example, your contribution can be limited to paying for just the audio video at a specific not to exceed amount. You could set a dollar amount. And you could still consider waiving the special event permit fee that you've done in the past. And then require that it not be the city to be the host or the lead organization, but rather that it be planned and organized by a community organization that would meet and comply with the items 2 through 10 as outlined here in the staff report. And with that, Mayor and Council concludes my staff report.
All right, thank you very much for that. Open for council for questions or comments.
I know I am the one who brought it up to the council at the last meeting. And again, in my mind, this is a city hosted event, just an opportunity for the community to be able to have something available to them. I know just earlier today, Kern High, as well as the CIF has pushed back the fall sports. And I guess that would be the winter sports now, which is now going to end up being the spring sports. And so it would just provide something for the community to enjoy and still have some of that community fellowship together. At this point, this would have been now the second parade this year that we won't be able to do, plus the fireworks show. So just looking for something that we'd be able to do as a community. Again, the intent was that we as a city would be able to host and put that on and put something out there for the community and the betterment of the community.
And I want to echo on that and agree with Chad, about, we are having tough times with this pandemic, and I do want to, thank the city for doing a great job. I'm talking about all the businesses, all the people working and everything. And I think something like this is something that we need, and, we shouldn't put really a price tag. Again, I understand if we didn't have any money, but, we have some money for that. So, I agree with them. I think it's something that the city would need and the community would benefit.
Councilmember Prout?
Yes, I know what we're saying, but I disagree with the city having to put funds into it. I think there's enough organizations in the community that could be approached. And there were people that were willing to approach a donation or being part of it if it was organized, if it had all the logistics done, and the city would be still supplying the in-kind services. So at this time, I'd like to say that we go ahead and support this and hope that the others can come forward and put in the money but not the city's money.
I would have to say I'm in agreement with Councilmember Prout. My only problem I have right now is that we have the numbers of COVID going up, and just what Councilmember Givens had said about the high school. It's just like now we're promoting something that everybody's, you know, trying to stay home policy now. So here that the numbers are going up, people are getting more cautious, people are getting more, concerned. And then we as a city goes and puts out a drive-in, which I'm all for it. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for all that, but it's just the timing. It's could be a tough one. It's like bad I do and bad I don't. So.
Well, and we're not setting a date tonight, but maybe we could get some input from other groups and get enough money together. And like you say, I don't oppose doing a drive-in movie, but I think right now it's just risky to make sure you have people staying in their car. You don't show up in a pickup and you park on the outside. And to keep everybody in their vehicle. There's just a lot of different security issues with it that I think it's just not a good thing to do right now.
Kathy, do you want to postpone this and push it back to the 15th?
You can postpone a decision?
Yeah, and it gives us an opportunity to reach out to some of the organizations and see who's willing to participate further.
I don't think it's necessary to postpone it. I think we need to go ahead and see if we can get some other sponsors and supporting it, and the city's going to support it. And we can waive the fee schedule. We can waive our participation with security as well as public works and all the logistics that go with it, but not have to use city money. So I could make the motion and say I support a drive-in movie and the city, waiving the fees as well as supplying the in-kind services from the police and fire and public works.
So just real quick, so are we concerned about safety issues?
And well, that's part of it, yes.
And then are we concerned about the money issues?
We're concerned about the safety of the whole thing, the security of it. But I say not to use any council or city council money.
How much money would you think this would probably take? I'm just curious.
Well, it was mentioned 1,500.
1,500.
So 1,500 is a lot of money.
Well, I think it's more about the safety, Manuel.
We got the thing is, I understand safety. Safety's everything. We're going to be you would be in vehicles, and we're in them all the time. I mean, everywhere we go, we travel. We're not going to, I understand if you're in vehicles and then you and I get off and we sit there and we talk and then there's 26 people talking, I get that, but I don't think that's what Chad is saying. I think he's saying it's a drive-in movie. You stay in your vehicles, something for the kids and the community and stuff. But now we're talking about $1,500 also, I guess it's a lot of money. So
I don't think it's about the money, Councilmember.
Well, I think it is because,
No, I think it's more about the safety. I don't know if the location has been discussed other than last time we talked about this, it was discussed at the airport, perhaps at the airport strip out there. But I don't know if that was the location that Councilmember Givens was thinking about or not.
No.
Yeah, the logistics aren't worked out yet.
So I don't know if that was, so I don't think it's about the money. I think it's more the safety, keeping people in the cars, the temptation of getting out of the cars and having a mask on and not socializing. That's where
and
it gets
the COVID issue. Yeah,
right.
It's definitely is.
And then are we going to who's going to police that? I mean, then what happens when we lose control and everybody's socializing? Now what? Who's going to be the bad guy? Say, stay in your car, don't get out, and I don't know.
Well, I don't socialize with nobody. I'm 6 feet away. I mean, if the cars are a foot away, yeah, I understand.
But you got children, Councilmember Garcia. You got kids.
Well, half the country says you can't get it if you're kids, right? I mean, so
I don't know, but I'm just saying.
So I don't understand. We have restaurants open, and some we do, some bar. I'm still working. City's working. You're still working. Everybody's working. We're in our cars. But it's fine. I mean, no big deal. I'll just rent my movie and watch The Miracle on 34th Street. I'm good.
Good movie choice.
So do we want to postpone it?
Something that have we reached out to a few of the other cities who are doing this right now locally?
Councilman Givens, you're asking me if we reached out? No, we did not. I know, I'm aware that, I think the city of Wasco, I read in the local paper that they've put on, I think on 2 different occasions, they've put on drive-in movies for their community.
Well, yeah, I only bring it up for if safety is a concern right now. That's why I'm asking the question. If they've had any concerns with safety while doing this, or I guess best practices throughout this process.
So we did provide the best practices. We included the CDC's recommended guidelines for both indoor and drive-in movies.
Right.
That was provided. I think there may be a concern that only in the last week or so is where the surge of COVID positive cases have seen an uptick and further restrictions have been imposed. So from the time when this research was done to when the present situation where we are with additional restrictions imposed by the state and public health, the uptick of cases may be contributing to that. But I can't say with certainty that that's the key factor.
Okay.
So do you want to postpone it to the 15th, or do we want to?
I think Kathy, you have a motion on the table, yes?
Yes, the motion was that we support a drive-in movie at some time. We don't have a date, we don't have a place, but not with city funds. That's my motion.
Well, Chad's motion was for the 15th to bring it back up. So which one is it?
No,
Well,
my motion.
Mine wasn't a motion. Kathy's was a motion.
Okay, so we got a motion in the sense of that we're going to do a drive-in, but we just don't know when and where and how yet, right?
Well, and then like I said, was without city funds.
Right. Okay. So, city manager, do we get that?
So the motion is that the city, as Councilmember Proud, just for clarification, is that the city would support the community drive-in movie with in-kind support, waiving of permit fees as we've done in the past, but no financial contribution directly to the event.
Right.
That's how I'm understanding the motion.
Yes.
I'll agree with you on that, Kathy.
Okay, so we have a motion by Councilmember Proud and second by Councilmember Givens.
Councilmember Proud,
Yes.
Givens,
Yes.
Garcia,
Yes.
and Alvarado.
Yes. Moving on to city manager's comments and reports.
Certainly, Mayor and Council, speaking of COVID and surge, as of today, just today alone, the Public Health Department reported 657 new COVID-19 positive cases. Shafter alone experienced 23 new cases, bringing us to a weekly total so far of 94 positive cases in the city of Shafter. Every day we're still counting, so by the end of the week we'll have a final number of what that count is. There is concern that obviously the virus is increasing at alarming rates, and we all need to do our part to help stop the surge. I think as a city we want to remind the community to keep themselves and loved ones safe, take precautions, particularly during the holidays, as there's concern that that's what's contributing to the positive cases. Along the lines of COVID and businesses, the governor yesterday announced that the state's ongoing business to support small businesses with potentially billions of immediate relief, including the Main Street hiring tax credit, which authorizes $100 million in hiring tax credit for qualified small businesses. This credit is equal to $1,000 per qualified employee and up to $100,000 for each small business employer. The application for the tax credit commenced today. And this information has been shared on our city social media pages, our website, and with the Chamber of Commerce. In the spirit of Christmas, city staff and the city of Shafter as an organization will be participating in the 12th annual Christmas tree display at the Shafter Depot. The administration or City Hall's tree theme will be a salute to Christmas using red, white, and blue. And for those of you that may have been on the waiting for us to start the meeting, understanding PD is also going to have participate in this tree display. So there's a little bit of rivalry there and competitiveness, which is always healthy. I'm sure the administration at City Hall will take it, but we'll see. Also too, just an FYI, our new planning commissioners that you voted at the last meeting for the 3 new commissioners will be sworn in at the regular meeting of December 8th. The meeting will be held by Zoom. And if you haven't received it, our city clerk will be sending you the Zoom invite if you wish to participate for that swearing in. And segueing to swearing in, at the December 15th regular council meeting, which hopefully we'll be able to have in person unless there's further restrictions, that will be the meeting in which the new re-elected and new council member will be sworn in. However, due to the COVID restrictions that are in place, and most likely will still be in place on the 15th, we are not planning a reception like I understand the city's done in the past, where family members and friends would be able to come out and congratulate the newly sworn in council members and the outgoing council members. So unfortunately, due to restrictions, we won't be planning a reception this year. And with that, Mayor and Council, it concludes my report. And I know I have a couple directors, David Franz and Public Works Director James, that both wish to give you an update. So we'll start with Mike, if you want to go ahead and give a brief update.
Certainly, Honorable Mayor, members of the Shafter City Council. I'm speaking on behalf of Public Works. I have some program and project updates for you tonight. First, the annual brush program started today. It's going to last through February. The policies haven't changed from the previous year. Those policies are spelled out in program flyers that, if they haven't been sent out already, will be sent out soon. As previously reported, the state's enforcement of new organics diversion programs could mandate weekly green waste collections as early as next year, which could eliminate the need for future brush programs. On your consent calendar tonight, the council authorized consulting services to make sure the city is prepared to meet the new mandate as cost effectively as possible. And then finally, the 5th and final citizen engagement for the North Shafter Park Grant project application is scheduled for tomorrow night from 3 to 5 p.m. I believe Council members Prout and Givens referenced past participation at workshops like this. This will be a socially distanced in-person activity at the proposed park site, which is basically where Clausen Street dead ends. The highlight of the agenda tomorrow night will be having the North Shafter residents vote on one of 3 park concept plans that were generated to try and capture the park amenities and layouts that have been requested by the residents. And I'm not sure if the city clerk has the ability to screen share those concept plans with you at this time. Thank you, Yasmina. So what you're looking at is the first of 3 concept plans, and each plan has a titled theme with a certain design focus. This particular one, entitled Family Time, features a gazebo at the center of the park site. And then we can move on to the other layouts. We have the same amenities. The only difference between the plan is the layout and the design focus. And so each of these layouts will be presented to the residents tomorrow night for their feedback. And we're gonna make a online survey available to those who can't participate tomorrow night due to scheduling conflicts or COVID concerns. So hopefully by mid-December, the Public Works will be working with his grant writer to focus on one of these park concept plans in the park grant application. And that concludes comments by Public Works, and I'd be happy to respond to any questions or suggestions.
Mike, what time was the event tomorrow, you said? It's going to be
It's going to take place from 3 to 5 p.m. And we literally carved out the 5-acre park site with the access road around the perimeter. It's the best way to access the event is to turn left immediately on Fresno Avenue immediately when you pull off of Highway 43. and there's a dirt road that'll access the site, more or less where Clausen Street dead ends.
Okay, that's tomorrow between 3 and 5, right?
That's correct. And
Okay.
then I'll make sure that the council has the online survey option to look at as well.
All right, appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, Mayor. Next is Director Franz, who I've asked to give you an update on the activities the Shafter Learning Center has been conducting during the COVID conditions, as well as an update on the GAF project. And as you may have seen, some activity out there at the Learning Center. So, David.
Honorable Mayor, members of the Shafter City Council, I believe the city clerk has a page that she can share on the screen. As you know, the challenge of COVID is not just a health crisis, but it's also an educational one. And I'd like to share some of the ways that we're responding to that at the Learning Center. If you scroll down a little bit, this is available on our website, which you can go to at shafterlearning.com and then click on the learn link. That's maybe a little bit small to read on this screen, but we've been doing online tutoring since very early in the crisis, and we've grown from starting with one-on-one tutoring with our 10 tutors to small group tutoring, which has allowed us to increase our scale. So we now have over 100 students that we're working with on a regular basis, on a weekly basis. We've also added in-person tutoring this month, which is happening outside to comply with COVID regulations. We recently have launched some new courses. They're all currently online, although we're preparing for some kind of hybrid online and virtual environments. The Bank of America recently concluded a financial literacy course for adults. And we also just concluded a course for children where they participated in submitting their ideas for a park. And Mr. James and Ms. Zermeno were gracious enough to meet with the students and listen to their ideas. We also have 4 new classes starting on Friday, keyboarding and Spanish. 2 classes of each of those. We've also, it was a way of trying to get books into homes. We have what we call a bookstore, but it's basically free books. You can pick up 4 books per month for your child, and that's available on our website. We have over 50 book titles available. And then we have a book bank, which is something that we've done for a while. We recently relaunched for people who are stewards of little free libraries around town, so they can come and pick up books to fill those libraries. Finally, we've launched monthly learning kits, which are themed activities and books around some kind of topic. So our first two themes have been take flight with planes and take flight with birds. And so, those include, in the case of birds, it was a birdhouse that students could build, as well as some books around that theme. And in the future, we have art kits, and we're working on a cooking kit with Grimway Foundation, as well as dinosaurs and oceans and robot themed months. So right now we have 48 families that we're working with, and some of those, families that aren't able to get to the Learning Center, we've actually delivered some of those. So we're trying to make it available to everybody. And that's kind of the main stuff that we're doing at the Learning Center. We also offer printing services for families that need access to a printer. The GAF, and maybe I should pause there. Are there any comments or questions on our COVID activities at the Learning Center?
Well, now that it's going to get cold, you said you had so many of these going on outside. How are you going to handle that?
Well, we're hoping that, even in the cold, it's not too bad if it's 3 to 4, 3 to 5. So we've been fortunate that we've been able to do that. You know, at this point, we are not really able to do things inside, and so when, you know, in inclement weather, we've asked families, you know, in an emergency, is it okay for us to continue inside? But we don't currently have plans for offering indoor tutoring. Although we have some plexiglass. We have you know, it's a fairly safe environment, but right now it doesn't meet we would need to get out of the purple tier, I suppose.
Yeah, well, to get through January probably, huh? That's okay. You can pick up in other areas too, because you are still doing a lot of the other things. That's good. That's good.
Okay, well, a quick update on the GAF project. As you know, the project was basically paused in March from the GAF side as they were looking to, they were responding to the crisis on their business side and making sure, they wanted to make sure that they had the bandwidth to really give this project the attention it needed. And so the project was paused. However, we continued to work on moving some utilities, because that could be a bottleneck, waiting for the utility company's permission. And so we were able to move forward with moving electrical lines and gas lines. We were also able to, as part of the James Street project, move the driveway, which will be helpful in freeing up some space at the front of the property. So most of that is completed. There's still a little bit of work in refilling the parking lot. That work is going to be reimbursed. The city has paid for it, but will be reimbursed by GAF. In the last few weeks, we've really started we restarted our weekly meetings with GAF and their design team. They've also added PCL Construction as project managers who will be on the ground leading the project. And as they get up to speed, they're looking to, you know, get the plans ready to submit for approval, as well as get ready for them to be sent out for bid. And they're also working on kind of finalizing a more concrete timeline. So I know, you know, everybody's curious when this is going to be ready.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll have a better idea of that soon, although we're looking at, you know, optimistically, I'm hoping that it will be ready for the summer.
Well, I was interested to know, especially if they were still moving forward. So that sounds good to me. That's a good deal. Thank you, David.
Thank you. That concludes my comments.
Mayor, nothing further from any of my directors.
Okay, thank you very much. Now we do have two items on in closed session. And we have number one is a conference with labor negotiators, and then two is the employee discipline, dismissal, release. So can I get a motion and to go into recess?
Motion for recess.
We have a motion by Councilmember Givens and second by Councilmember Garcia. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, Yasmina.
Okay, please accept the breakout room invitation.
I'm taking a break.
Kathy, you got to push the button first. Yeah, that's a big crowd on here now, Gabriel.
What's that, sir?
Big crowd on here now.
I know, right? Oh. Then we're just waiting for Councilmember Prout.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I think everyone's back, Mayor.
Oh,
Gilbert,
Gilbert, I'm sorry, you're muted.
still on mute.
Okay. City Attorney Martinez, would you please report out, sir?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Earlier tonight, the City Council recessed into closed session. All members were present. There were two items on the closed session agenda. The first, conference with labor negotiators concerning the groups listed on the agenda. With respect to that item, the City Council heard a presentation from its negotiators, provided further direction, and we have no reportable action. There was also employee discipline dismissal and release concerning an employee termination appeal hearing. The City Council provided direction on calendaring future meetings for that employee appeal hearing. And so there will be a series of additional meetings regarding that item. However, with respect to this one, we have no additional reportable action. That concludes the report, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that report. Can I get a motion to adjourn, please?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Givens and second by Councilmember Prout. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. See you all later. Have a good night.
Aye.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Have a nice evening.
Have a good night.
Thank you, guys.